Dun, 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 dun. Grand Rising, Grand Rising. This is another morning to wake you up. Wake yourself up. Wake yourself up. As you can see in blue writing, what does that say, my brothers and sisters? What does that say? Read it. Read it real quick. Do you know why you are here? I do. Why do we not pour? So let's start where? Start right there. Do you know why you are here? So you got that job you wanted, you got that house, you got that car, that career, that profession, that man or woman. Man, you got everything that's on this earth. But you just living. Are you living or are you alive? Or are you even live? But even live, going from right to left, spell another word. Because you don't know why you are here. I'm going to keep asking you that throughout this presentation. Because I'm coming to you live. At 0600 hours, 36 minutes, Friday, June 18, 2021. Another one for the time capsule for the men and young women that sees this one day eventually, if the entity of YouTube owned by Google and other entities within it do not delete this or erase this. I want you to think of this. When everybody's down, using drugs, medicating themselves. You great, but you smoke weed. No, this is not a diss. I want you to take the time out to really think about some things you do in your life. I am happy because of things. I am happy not because of your purpose. You're not happy because of yourself. Can you hear the joy in my heart? If you don't, why not? Do I sound angry? Do I sound mad at the world? Do I seem disgruntled? If you correlate that and say no, you know why? Do you know why you are here? I've been found my purpose. Don't matter if you go back, even if you go back to when I started 2 years ago. I know my purpose. Sometimes I get off track by listening to people and I say, that's not my purpose. And even tell people I speak to and get to know. Just because you're doing that don't mean that's your purpose. And do that align to your purpose? Do it. I do. Do you know why you are here? Do that align to your purpose? You going on a vacation, you buying that, you bragging about you did this, all this money, all these sayings from these people that make a lot of money. What's the difference between that man or woman that got all that money and talk all that stuff on TV? Nothing. We call ourselves average people. So if I can use some people, so LeBron James not average. Why is he not average? Do he know why he's here? Is LeBron, his gift is basketball, but is that his purpose? Let's use another person. Right now, let's talk about this dude, Sanaa Lathan. She's in movies. Is that her purpose? Do she know why she is here? But guess what? We never do. Those people and what we never do, even on these channels. We never talk about that. Why is that? Why do we not talk about our purpose? We talk about focus on this, focus. Even if I don't focus on what's going on outside, am I still doing my purpose? Am I still walking on the path I supposed to walk on? Are you walking on the path you are supposed to walk on? I say I do. When you hear I do, what do you get from that? Marriage, right? But if you think about I do is a command. But a command to who? Do you know why you are here? The first command to yourself is I. And then the part do, I do. I'm not giving nobody permission or allowing. That is a command to me. Do I take on my purpose of life? I do. Do I want this purpose in life? I do. That's why we always say that person that say I do to the question you ask them at the time, whenever you present it to them, they take on you. And what do you call that person? A partner. Now think about this. Get rid of that person. When you tell yourself I do as a command, who are you talking to? You. Do you know why you are here? That's the command. You're asking yourself a question. A semantic. So it's called a semantic. You're giving yourself an example of the design you want to put yourself into. So the design you put yourself into, that's the command you are giving. And the command is I do. You're the first person that has to understand you. But guess what? We never talk about that. Sit down to your child. Think about this. You have a child and they live with you all these years. Now ask yourself this. Or you have a niece or nephew or somebody that's younger than you that don't have the information you have and you trying to pour into them. But first you pour it in yourself. But let me hit you with this real quick. You pay bills, you pay rent, you do a couple of things in life. Have you ever set those children down or anybody set those children down how to do those things? No. Why? Because you say we lead by example. I don't care. They say the best leader is the best follower. No, the best leader is the best understander. I don't have to follow the lead because I do. Do you know why you are here? So now the first thing you have to do is pour into yourselves. How do you pour into yourself? For you, all I can give you is an example. I don't know how to pour into yourself because you know why? I don't know who you are. You never told me who you are. And all those commands, all those outings, all the times we hung out, all the times we talked, you never once told me who you are. That's who I want to get to know. Because when I talk to you, I'm going to pour out of what is in me into you. That's why love is the seed, as I spoke of, and the root. When you plant the seed into good soil, it grows roots and it has subroots. So when I tell you who I am what? I'm no longer commanding you because I'm not telling you what to do. Now I am sharing me onto you. Do you know who you are? So as me sharing unto you and you know your purpose, it'll be easier. But if you don't know your purpose, it'll be harder for me to share my love to you. My roots cannot grow. I cannot get subroots. And you are the soil. I'm the seed. I'm trying to share what I have onto you. But some reason, a lot of us don't see it that way. Do you know who you are? So you pour into yourself. What are some things before you share with anybody you can pour into you? For me, knowledge. Knowledge of what? What information? See, we never ask that question. You say, Go get all the knowledge. Go read that book. Why am I reading that book? Before I say anything, I'm not going to tell you this is the best cake I ever had. You know why? Because your mind will go into that's the best cake. So when you taste it, but somehow your taste bud is not the same as mine, you're going to say, this is not the best cake, OJ. I'm going to say, well, to me. You're going to say, well, not to me. Excuse me. So I cannot share that with you. I have to just bring the cake to you that either I made or was made by another entity. But in the process of sharing this cake, my job is not to get you to believe, quote unquote, that this is the best cake in the world. That is not my job. My job is to share what I thought was the best cake. That was my purpose right there. That was it. What you do and say after that, that is up to you. But you have to know who you are. Do you know who you are? But if you don't know who you are, anything I say to you, I have to at least give you an outline. What you do with it, that's up to you. Just as a relationship with a man or a woman. I cannot use all of their information because you know why? A lot of the times they are home together. They close the door. I'm not in their house. I don't know what he do to her. I don't know what he say to her. Don't matter how much information he give me, I am not there. So when they pour out unto others, they're only, most of the time, is going to give you the brand. See my insignia in the right corner? That's my brand. It's not no Illuminati or fake sign. You know how I created that brand? And this is me. See, and you hear a lot of things I'm saying. The reason I'm saying this is to give you an idea of where I'm going. I'm not going to be long. Try not to be super long with it and leave you in the midst of what I'm getting to. I was sitting there tearing the tape off of a folder. That was a piece of tape on the folder. And then I said, oh, okay. So I took the black marker and literally outlined the piece of tape. So every little spot, this is how my insignia of my brand came to be. I just started coloring it in. And literally, that's the picture that came. And I sat there. I said, can I redraw this? I used to draw, and I got to get back into it. Not that I used to draw. I did not keep up with the art of drawing. And that was the insignia that came to. It has no meaning. It not associated with no entity, no affiliation, no organization. Well, what you call that? In the Fair Use Act and the trademark and copyright, I am not associated with no company. And I want to, because I'm seeing that the market is open to have different ambassador for certain things. So, example, I don't buy clothes from a certain entity because they invest in abortions. So I don't buy from them. That can sound silly to you or other people. I don't buy from them because I don't invest in abortion. I don't want no one to have abortion. I feel as a purpose of life, can we do something before to me, that's because I do. That's a command to me. To me, that's a form of a destruction. When you take something unnatural and something's natural and you try to remove it from natural, that's a destruction. It's another word that's coming to mind, but at this moment it's not there. So I don't want to associate myself with the knowledge that I know. Do you know? That's the first beginning of the question. Do you know? And that's my why. I'm not, and you are me, be me, instead of you, me, I am here. I don't want to. So do you know that this company invests in abortion, or they give money to abortion clinics? Why I don't invest in things of that way? Because that's not what I am. Because who am I? I'm not a destroyer. And ask yourself, I haven't done this one in a while. Who are you? I am truth. I am resolve resolution. And the reason I haven't used that is because I started looking into other people. I started pouring into myself with other people. They told me that cake was good, and I found out that cake wasn't good. And I love chocolate cake, or I love the mint flavor of the cake. But whoever made it didn't have the same purpose as I did. My purpose of the cake was not, I didn't want to use preservatives. So I didn't want to use outside sources to make my cake. I wanted my cake to be natural. I wanted my cake to be the healthiest, not the healthiest cake you can eat, but still have good. And it didn't have to be vegan. It didn't have to be no flour. I had to find the right ingredient. So I had to find the right what? Structure. All the things, the foundation that I needed for this cake to be good. And the overall, I'm going to go right back to it because you're going to say it sounds silly. I had to make it out of love, with love. Because remember, the seed. So let's take love and say purpose. What was the purpose of me making that cake? Now, to me, this is how I call procreation. I am the emperor. She's my empress. He's my prince, and she's my princess. Now, slow it down. I just missed you. Shout out to Conceited. Say emperor. Slow. Emperor. Now, just take that plus sign. Plus, she's a what? Empress. Let's say it so. Impress. So, in per her plus impress equals the completion of life. Procreation. I don't care about nobody. I don't want a design that tells me I'm an independent man, but women are needed. I'm an independent woman, but a man's not needed. But that one thing, let's go back to love. Love is a what? Seed. We don't need this seed no more. Hold on. If I have the seed, she has the soil. I have to plant my seed into her soil. Somebody told me all this information I'm saying, we won't get all they call it terminologies right. All the in and out right. I said, yes, I am. Because you know why? Why? Because I already into myself. I already pour into myself. Because you know why? Because I'm an in per her. The children, don't call that man a stepdad. Don't call that man, don't put real, true, and step in front of nothing if a man is doing it. Because he is already a man, so he's already real. Don't say a true man or a true dad. He's a dad. He's a father figure or role. Call him a figure or a role. But don't call him that if you're going to associate and stand in front of you. You know, if I am not the biological father. My seed did not go into her womb, and I am raising this child. I am guiding and challenging, quote unquote. I am guiding. Who's the father of this child? Vice versa. If that man's seed went into another soil and that woman is sitting there, a new woman, they're taking care of the responsibility of parenting. Who is that man and that woman? Now, this is not a diss if your father or mother is still alive. But if they're not in their life, they're the father and they are the mother. Biologically, the mother and the father. So if they ever walk, if that never, gratefully, I never had to do that. Because I'd have been so, that's why I say, I'm not in that man home and that man wife that's giving me all this advice. I'm going to tell you to do the work yourself. I'm going to tell you, go read that book yourself. Don't matter what I say, go look it up. When I get done talking and you want to make sense of something, go look up what I just said. Go find what I just said somewhere else and cite all of your sources. To cite me, you will have to cite my mother and father. You have to cite the information that I gave you. And that's what we're supposed. We don't do that. We just took people information. Like somebody tried to tell me, if we go, this youth politics right here. My mother and the Senate. So remember, politics is a Senate. That's one part of politics. You have the Democrat, Republican. We just gonna use those parties. They vote on a bill, a law, a rule, or regulation. The Democrats said, we want the policy of child protection in the schools and the homes. Who voted for that? The Democrats. Wrong. You don't even know why and how, though. You don't even know how that works. Because you don't know everything around you. You think you know, because you did not go what? Look it up and cite your sources. So this year, I'm going to guesstimate. There's a Democratic president. So the Democratic is not the majority of the House. That's not what majority of the House mean, real quick. I'm going to give you this. There's 200. I love even numbers, so I'll use to stick to even numbers. There's 270 Democrats in office. 260. Let's say 260 because 2 and a 6 even. 0 is a non-equal. It's an absolute number. So it could go either way. You draw the equal sign with a line through it. So there's 260 Democrats in the House. How many Republicans you think it is? It's probably less. So let's say there's 220. 220 Republicans in office. So when something needs to be voted on, who vote? No, not just the Democrats. The Republicans have to vote on it too. You didn't know that, did you? So with this child protection law or rule or regulation being passed, the majority of the House, do you know what majority of the House mean? That means of the 260 Democrats, majority. So majority of anything has to be more than 50%. So 70% of the House has to say, okay. So out of 260, at least 200, I want to say 10 or 20 of the Democratic House have to okay. Remember, there's 220 Republicans. Guess how much of their House have to vote? Okay. So it's 220. So I want to say 92, 98, close to 100 has to okay. So when that bill or law, regulation, rule is passed, what happens now? Guess what? Did not the Democrats vote their side and they okayed it, and did not the Republicans vote? So I ask you, who passed that law? Don't say the Democrats. See, that's the trick. I don't play with tricks. The truth. I need the truth. The Republicans have to pass a law. So why do we say the Republicans? So that goes, Republicans had nothing to do with that law being passed. And why is the media only propagating? And you see why I don't listen to people? Because they have no knowledge, because they don't even know how to command. The command was the majority had to win. Of each party had to vote. The majority of each house had to vote. So 70% of each house, so the Democratic and Republican. So now going back to the man and the woman and the procreation and completion of life. We pour into our children. So he's the empress She's the empress, empress, emperor. He poured into her and he presses it in because of his seed into her womb, which is the soil. The children is the what? The growth of what he planted. So as I say, why do we not pour into ourselves, the children, and everything around us? What is your purpose? And one more story. Thank you for watching up to this point. You are put in an area where you think you're not supposed to be. You are put in this area for a reason. Here's an example. You thought you was going to be a teacher, an instructor, part of a community where you understand that the funding for the school is wrong. Let's say our community funding, we do utilize the state and the federal taxes because that's how you get more funding. And it's a non-profit organization, which is not a bad thing. Because in some cases, that's good. You don't have to come out of pocket. You can get people to join. So everybody can be part of it, correct? Correct? So you know why you was placed in that school where you know it's shootings and you still alive. You know that, how to put it, in those schools, it's bad. The kids don't learn. You know the textbook's not working. None of the teachers really care. You know why you was put in that school? That is your purpose right there. And your purpose is the completion of life is our children. The man is in per her, plus she's the empress, equal what? Procreation. Prince. The prince. They are the fundamental foundation of our life. I don't care if you can't have children. There are millions of children that can be adopted. You want to look up to the celebrities? Why don't the millionaires get together in a non-sexual way, in a non-brainwashing way, and open up houses, find caring and loving people, non-profit, they can become part of a non-profit and allow those kids to have a regular life. Take away the kids from the abusive homes. Put them into those homes with the loving men and women out here. I would be an advocate if somebody seen this and they heard this. The LeBron James, the Kevin Durant, the Jay-Z, the T.I., the Big Mike, the Oprah. If they really Dr. Boyce Watkins, the Colin Kaepernicks, if you really, they not really about that life. But you want to know what? Hashtag purpose. If you want to know my purpose, listen to my videos. Watch my videos, share my videos. You want to know my purpose. You know what I do? I talk to the young men. I haven't done it in a while because I had to work on pouring into me first. I can't pour in. See, people say, well, work on yourself. Your life ain't good. My life will never be complete until my child have a child. And if I don't have a child, I have to birth. This is what birth mean now. When that seed come out of that shell, I have birthed a plant. So I made a print and prints. Print, P-R-I-N-T, I-N-P-E-R-H-E-R, in per her, I-N-P-R-E-S-S, equal, P-R-I-N. So our children is the fundamental foundation to our life. Hashtag purpose. So I asked again, do you know why you are here? I do, the command. Why do we not pour into ourselves, the children, and everything around us? Hashtag purpose. What I say unto one, I say unto all. It's your path. It's your purpose. It's your choice. Choose wisely. And in wiseness, you educate and you overcome and you do things that is meant for you. The reason she supposed to be in that school is because she is supposed to change it. The reason he's there, he's supposed to show the atmosphere, you are not stronger than me. See, the government policies cannot see and bind me into things that I know is not for me. Hashtag my purpose. My purpose was just to give you that idea. Now the Colin Kaepernicks and the LeBron James want to form groups, take their monies and energies and put them to where the truth can happen. We want to see our children get better. You got to be at home. You got to talk to your children. If I'm talking, you kept saying, stop saying this is not real online. This is real to me. Because I know why I'm here. You know why I'm here? I am resolve resolution. In my area, you know what I want to do? I want to ask these people, share this with them. Go into the projects. They robbing each other and killing each other because they don't have something. What if you are able to provide? That little kid don't have that mother and father. I went to school, Mr. Coffee and Mr. Baldwin, rest Mr. Baldwin's soul. And I seen Mr. Coffee niece. She went to CNA school with me. They would say things to me. Mr. Baldwin is a Caucasian man, born in America. And I'm honored by that. I'm honored by my indigenous brother, Shalom. Mr. Coffee, though, was more to me. Because he never beat me up for not wanting to be in school. He never beat me up for having a hard time in school. Mr. Baldwin, it said, your sister did it. So he challenged me. Mr. Coffee, he guided me. Mr. Baldwin challenged me. You know he challenged me with? Your sister, and I don't think it wasn't a bad thing. Your sister did it. I don't care how much better she can remember or how much you think she's smarter than you. I know she's your family. That's why I don't kick out family. And right now, me and my sister have a great relations. Great relay. Now I don't use the word People say that sounds stupid. Relationship. Yes, it's a relationship to me because now mean to do and to undo what was wrong. We undid it. So now I am in a relationship with the lady I'm with named Shantae. I am helping. Now we got to get out of that. I'm going to come back with another one. The simp process. Not a simp. From beta, alpha, gamma, zeta. You are none in between. You are who you are. So I want to come back with that, with a part 2 of what is your purpose. Selah.